All right, we're less than a month away now from Oleksandr Usyk versus Tyson Fury 2. I am so happy that this fight has turned around this quick. I remember when Tyson Fury, Gareth, had that draw with Deontay Wilder, and we were all like, okay, let's see that again now. Like, what's going on? We need to see it again now. And then Tyson Fury had to have the Tom Schwartz and Otto Volin fights in between, and it kind of delayed it a bit. Eventually, obviously, we got number 2 and number 3. I'm so happy that there is no delay. Obviously, we've lost the IBF belt, but I don't necessarily care about that. We are still going to get number 1 versus number 2, and it happened straight away. Fingers crossed as we sit here now on the 26th of November. No injuries, no cuts, no sparring stories. We're good to go, and it's going to be another epic one, Gareth. I just know it's going to be.
Yeah, and also in the last few days, I don't know if you've seen it, the gloves are off chat they had. It's only 12 minutes long. I don't know if you've seen it.
I have with Bunsey, yeah?
Yeah, with
Yeah.
Vance, it's very good. They both got deep respect for each other. You can really tell that. Usyk gives nothing away. Fury is very honest about his performance. Like you say, everything points to another razor-tight fight. How much Fury's got left is going to be one of the factors. He pointed to the fact he had success for 7 rounds and needs to carry it on. I think he's going to be a slightly heavier and more aggressive this time because when he was aggressive, he was successful in the fight. I think he'll step in more against Usyk this time, but that will bring its risks as well. So it's going to be an epic encounter. I mean, they're both brilliant. The belts don't matter anymore for me. This is now the championship of each other. If Fury wins, we get one more at some point to decide the number 1 of the era. If Usyk wins this, he's flatlines for me as the number 1 of the era. That's all on the line.
Yeah. I mean, if Usyk wins, we then have to, and I get my historian friends such as yourself to have a discussion about where Usyk sits as an all-time great, undisputed at cruiserweight, undisputed at heavyweight, beat the man twice back to back. I mean, there's a discussion as to where he sits. On that
in the top 5 of all time, in my view.
Wow, that's big.
Yeah, in the top
big.
5 of all time in heavyweights. Yeah,
that's really big.
But because look at what he's done. Look at
is there enough body of work at heavyweight?
Oh, without question, he's beaten
to be top 5.
He's beat he's in the top 5 most accomplished heavyweights. I think I did that after he beat. I did that a list of that for the Telegraph just after he beat Tyson Fury back in May. And he really does belong up there with the very greatest heavyweight.
Okay, so we're saying Larry Holmes, Lennox Lewis, Muhammad Ali.
Yeah.
Are you
George Foreman,
Evander, Joe Fraser? You're counting all these people out?
Yeah. He's up there with all of them. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
No.
Look at what he's done. He's beaten all the big guys. I mean, he's beaten Joshua twice and a better Joshua the second time. He's accomplished everything. Went on the road at cruiserweight and beat everyone in their own backyard. He's the ultimate road warrior. Very few of his fights have been at home in front of his own crowd. Look what he did against Daniel Dubois, and look what Daniel Dubois has become. Like this era, you could still say, all right, maybe he needs to fight a Joseph Parker and maybe still needs to fight a Martin Bakole. But I think he's proved against the big guys. If he beats Fury convincingly this second time, then I think he goes up there and he stays there, as one of the all-time greats. In the top 10, certainly,
Yeah, and for those that argue about the point you just made about the Bacoles and the Joseph Parkers, and look, there could be an argument there, but what Usyk has done is said, okay, give me number 1 and 2 now. So I'll jump the queue and just give me the best. I don't want to go through 6, 7, 8. I want to fight number 1 and 2. AJ at the time, number 1 and 2, and you're right, he's beaten them both. So
and the young pretender in Dubois, a dangerous exocet missile that he is, So I think, and also. Usyk's now, I think, 37.
38 in January.
Doesn't need to keep going. He's served his time. For me, he's got 2 fights, potentially 3 fights left. And that's it. If he loses to Fury, he'll fight him again. And then maybe there's another, I don't know whether he wants to fight Dubois again. Does he want to fight Joshua again? Who knows? But
there has been some talk, and I think this is silly talk just because Usyk's now walking around as a heavyweight, and he's quite muscular. He's not a fat heavyweight. But there's been this talk about Usyk coming back down to cruiserweight for a tear up with Beterbiev coming up or Jaya Pataya. Okay, you say that, yeah. If I
Money.
were to offer you, if I were to
Money.
offer you tomorrow, so Usyk's beaten Fury. Play this game with me, Gareth. And I
Okay.
say, okay, Gareth, what fight would you be more interested in watching? Not for legacy, just watching.
Yeah.
Usyk Bukoli or Usyk Beterbiev coming up. What would you say? What would you if you could watch one on
Oh.
TV, which one are you watching?
Oh. 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 That's a hard choice. I think he's too big for Beterbiev.
He is, isn't he? He is. He is. He's a bit too
But the
big.
Bacoli fight. See, we say Bacoli, and I want to see his footwork against Bacoli. I think he beats Bacoli handily.
Yeah, he's just too. His footwork's just a
But
bit too much for
but
Bukoli, I think.
but the muscle memory of the Olympic fights with Beterbiev as well. I just think Usyk's now been able to really grow into being a big guy. I mean, Beterbiev is at most going to be a 200-pound fighter, and Usyk's going to be. I can't see him squeezing back down,
No.
losing a stone again because he's obviously put that weight on. They're never the same fighters when they go up. It's a great thought though. They're great, great, great thought.
And this is, as you know, this is what Turkey thinks like. His Excellency thinks things like this.
Yeah.
Okay, how can I make the most special, spectacular event? And I do wonder what Usyk does. Look, I personally think. Sorry, go on, go.
I was gonna say there's and I want to throw something at you. My belief is, and I knew I was right in think. Well, certainly I'm glad they're doing it. Anthony Joshua not going back into the rematch with Daniel Dubois. I'm waiting to see the outcome of Fury Usyk or Usyk Fury 2. It wouldn't surprise me if Fury does beat Usyk
Mhm.
to see him fight Joshua in between fighting Usyk again in a trilogy.
Oh, okay.
That wouldn't surprise me if that fight happens.
Yeah, I mean, for AJ to sit it out now, and that's
Yeah.
now all but confirmed. They're waiting on that, aren't they? They're banking on because look, if Usyk wins, but okay, I'm gonna throw this back at you. What if Fury loses?
Oh,
Do
it's then it's Joshua in
oh, okay, is it? Is
2025
it?
in the
Okay,
UK. Yeah, I
okay,
mean,
cool.
I mean, if we have Eubank and Ben and Fury and Joshua in the UK in 2025, and we have those two fights 4 times,
Mm.
it'd be amazing. But I've got a feeling Fury's going to do it in the second fight.
Oh,
I think
okay, this is interesting.
I think he's got the bit. I mean, we haven't got come to that yet, have we?
No.
It's our early look at.
Mm.
Um, I mean, I'm leaving for the Middle East next week. I'm doing an extra long sojourn there, but I really do think Fury's not messing around at all this time, and he's got the bit between his teeth. I think it's going to be almighty close again, and he might be clinging on for dear life to win on points. But I just think he's going to leave it all in there. He's a special guy, very, very special guy, and it was a very close, brutal fight first time round. And the takeaway from the sit down of them the other day was Usyk not admitting he was hurt at all in that fight, and he was hurt in that
Oh,
fight.
he was hurt several
But you
times.
see him not admitting it. I
Yeah,
loved it.
he can't.
Like,
It's
he's so
almost like I
stoical,
can't
wasn't he?
give you anything,
No,
Tyson.
he gives you
Yeah,
nothing.
and
Yeah,
you're right. I mean, look, me and you were ringside for the first one. It's probably the best fight I've ever been ringside for in my
yeah.
life. And
Mm.
those first 6 or 7 rounds, people have critiqued me for saying I'm a Tyson Fury fanboy, which is quite strange. I've never been called that before. And I'm like, no, Fury is having so much success in those first 6, 7 rounds.
He's
I'm not,
beating him up.
yeah,
He's
yeah.
beating him up.
So he's going to take some courage for that. I go the other way though. I go Usyk to get it done again. I do. I go Usyk to get it done again in a razor thin fight. Usyk now knows he can hurt Fury. I don't think he went into the first fight thinking he could sort of slay the Goliath, the giant, and now he knows that he can hurt him. And now Fury knows, more importantly, that Usyk can hurt him as well. So I think both will be a bit more cautious, but I think we've got something epic. I really do. I think we've
I,
got
I,
something epic.
but I think the actual fight conditioning of Fury will be better this time.
Needs to
He,
be. Needs to be.
he had breaks last time. He had that press conference in Morecambe for us. He appeared somewhere
What
else.
was that about again? Why was we there again? I can't even remember. Why did
Well,
we have a?
because we felt we needed to see Tyson
Oh
Fury
yeah.
before he disappeared to Riyadh.
Oh.
He's not being disturbed in Malta this time, where he is. He's training there. He's he hasn't got a cut eye that he's dealing with going into
Mm.
it. His whole fight conditioning will be better this time. And like you, and I've been pilloried. I'm always called a Fury fanboy, but I've been
I've never been called it, Gareth. It was so weird. I'm an
yeah,
AJ fanboy. The Fury
yeah.
one was weird.
Yeah, but I'm an AJ detractor if I say he fluffed his lines against Dubois. It's the way of the world now. Everything's divisive. You know, you can't have an opinion one way or the other. You can't navigate your way through it anymore. You just got to accept people feeling that you're biased. But I'm not
Mm.
biased in the slightest. Fury was dominant for the first 7 rounds, apart from maybe the first round, and was look. I remember it might have been Kugan Cassius of IFL TV was sitting near me. I said, I think he's going to stop Usyk in a minute. He's going to hurt him and stop him after 7 rounds. But Usyk is the master finisher. I agree with you. I think we're in for an epic encounter. I think Fury will be better this time. It's just what legs he's got left in him after a long career, and what that ballooning 10 stone over the weight he should be has
Mm.
perhaps taken out of him. But listen, we're in for a very, very special week in Saudi Arabia because look, the Gypsy King will be there, the alter ego. Oleksandr Usyk will call on Ivan Serko, the Cossack warrior that he feels lives inside him. And you know, it's going to be amazing. And the fans will travel. It's Christmas time for us, and it will be awesome. And we're so privileged to be in this era. It's such a pleasure. It really is to be talking about these things and have all these things happening, and that we as two individuals who have a passion and a love for fight sports, we get to smell and scent and sniff up everything up close. And it's such a privilege because we'll miss these guys when they're gone, and they're not 2 or 3 fights away from that. They're not more than 2 or 3 fights away from us saying sayonara, you know.
Yeah, yeah, no, you're right. I mean, and you can chuck AJ into that equation.
Yeah,
Obviously, Wilder is kind of in and out. So yeah, you're right. That era is coming to an end. It might come to an end come December 21st. Who knows? Everyone could walk away and say sayonara. Enough's enough. So make sure you tune in December 21st for another epic heavyweight showdown.
On AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.